Thursdays, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM or 1080 AM, online at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you ask your smart speaker to see if Luke is back, and this is what you got. Use the fan text line. It's 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use the text line. Use the chat. Share your thoughts. Ask questions. Solicit advice. Or answer me this, dear listeners. Did you miss me? Lowercase. What did I miss while I was out? I was gone on Thursday and Friday. It was you and Joe Fish on Thursday. It was you hosting on Friday,
yes, sir,
with Stephen Vaughn on the other side of the glass. What'd I miss? How was it, my friend?
It was good. A little nerve-wracking for the first time hosting, but I thought it went well.
All right. And you got a little chance to sit down with a comedian that you know and love.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
That was really fun.
Yeah?
That was really fun.
Is is Carson Beck good at football? Did I miss that? Did he play? I was not going to go back and watch highlights of the Hall of Fame game. I'm out camping. I stayed off of technology.
I think the jury's still out on if Carson Beck is a good quarterback.
Good enough to be the starting quarterback in Arizona.
But better than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Is just the line that he had to be.
Well, I guess that's fair. Fair point. Fair point. Anything else?
He didn't even win.
I know that. That was hilarious. So the whole big story is like, watch out for these guys. Well, need to give you the update. Camping trip. A couple things went pretty well. It's funny. We are bookended the annual camp out up at Hood Canal. 50 total people showed up for the thing, so we have big turnout. Always do. But we bookended. It was S'mores Day today. It was Oyster Day, if you remember, on Wednesday before I left. But they had the red tide, so we weren't going to be able to go out and harvest any shellfish. So it was going to be a little bit disappointing. Got to give a shout out. Uncle Mike showed up with a cooler full to the brim, 20 crab, 120 some odd oysters.
Oh, that'll do.
We got fed. And here's the thing. I don't know if you know this, but if you're harvesting your oysters right at the beach, you leave the shells right there so they can reseed. Okay? If you buy the oysters, you get them. We were able to cook them on the half shell. Made a quick couple phone calls. Got a hold of some people that weren't coming up till Friday. I go, you need to bring me these ingredients. We're making Drago's New Orleans famous recipe.
Lemon.
Oh, garlic. A little bit of garlic, butter, black pepper, all kind of mixed into that. A little spoonful of that. Then you go Parmesan and Parmesan. What was it? It was two different kinds of cheese. I can't remember. I just went Drago's recipe. Drago's is a place in New Orleans. We've been there for oysters on the half shell. Pecorino Romano, I think, was the other cheese. Threw those two on there and then a little parsley on top of it and then cooked them over an open fire, propane fire. We're trying to be safe out there. We're not using wood-burning fire because, of course, the fire danger. Oh, buddy. They came out exquisitely. But
nailed it.
I know what
Parmesan and Pecorino Romano.
Boom. So, here's the thing, though. It's a big cornhole tournament. Can I just say, the weather, speaking of fires, I know there's a lot of smoke in the air on Thursday. The weather all cleared up on Friday. Couldn't have been any nicer. Just absolutely perfect weather. But we have the big cornhole tournament. You're aware of this. I think I've shown you pictures of the trophy. It's ridiculous. The trophies have to be adjusted every year. If you win the trophy, it is your responsibility to add something new to the trophy every year. Well, a couple of years, it got a little bit out of control. My brother had a neighbor throwing away a bunch of old motorcycle trophies. He's like, I need those. I had another brother picked up a bunch of trophies at Goodwill. It's taller than me. I won it last year. My sister, who's been on the show a couple times, she's won Take Your Pick. Her and I, defending champions. But it's a blind draw, so you don't have any control over who your partner is. Well, here's the thing. A couple years ago, my cousin from Idaho started coming out to join us on the camping trip. Going into last year's trip, they got themselves some cornhole boards, they got themselves some cornhole bags, and they started doing a little practicing. And it's not strictly against the rules, but none of us are competition cornhole players. until we get to the camping trip. I played maybe once throughout the year going into this. Before last year's tournament, they started practicing. They started playing. They'd been the year before, and they're like, we're going to go in, and we're going to kind of whoop up on it.
Again, your one-a-year non-camping trip is you see a board and go, we'll see if I still got it. You toss a few and go, all right, I'm dialed.
My backyard is on a little bit of a slope. If we wanted to play the actual distance, you're playing uphill, downhill, fairly narrow. We can't quite get it. If you put it right up to the fence, you're about 1.5 feet short. So I played it in my yard. One time we set it up. We had a little gathering, bunch of people over. That's the only time I set it up.
And we play regulation rules around here.
Well, which we certainly do on the camping trip. So I had not played a regulation game. It was obviously shorter than that, so I hadn't played all year. Well, after last year, when the Idahoans got their practice going, didn't work. They still didn't really compete for the championship. In the last calendar year, they have become cornholers. They are now league players. The couples, so it is my cousin, her husband, a friend, and his wife, or whatever, however you want to pair those up. So 2 couples. Every Thursday, all 4 of them go out and play. The guys are playing in multiple leagues during the week throughout.
They're league players.
One of them, he goes, when I travel, he travels a little bit for work, he looks up where he can go and get into a tournament for that night. He travels with his cornhole bags. Now, we're playing outside. We're playing at a campground. They had bags. Like, well, we can't get them all dusty. They wouldn't even use their official. They used their backup bags on the board. Another friend of ours brought the official American Cornhole League boards that he borrowed from his neighbor that he plays with. Mm-hmm. We got another guy who plays frequently. He's ready. Everybody's coming for it. Everybody's gunning for the Andersons. It worked. It did not go great for that. Now, I must say, my brother Frank, 3-time champion, couldn't be there until Saturday night. He missed out on the tournament. So you already got 1 eliminated there. My brother Paul won the trophy twice, finishes 3rd fairly consistently. He got a partner where both of them go, we're going to see how it goes in the first couple games, see how hard we should try at this. They kind of bailed early on it. My partner, lovely young gal, first time playing cornhole.
Tough breaks.
But that's why we do the blind draw.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Matt, who brought the official cornhole boards, we don't want to say no to anybody that really wants to play. 8-year-old nephew really wanted to be out there and playing. He didn't quite have the skills to get it up. I will say, this is the big the gals that showed up to play were dead serious. None of the Idahoans got paired up together. They all got pretty good partner draws. Came down to it, top 4. The nephew that played, he's 13 to 12. He was playing with, who was he playing with? Doesn't matter. He was a runner-up last year. He was in it. My sister was in it. I think she ended up 4th place. And the champions, we kept the Anderson name on the trophy. The Idahoan that often loses, so John usually loses to Cody. John took the championship with Grandma Anderson. My mom, the big champion, keeping the Anderson name going. It was down to my nephew, my sister, and mother. And mother went out there and got it. She had the game-winning shot, big moment, so we keep at least a little bit of the legacy. First time one of our names not on it. So I'm no longer a champion. I'll have to wait another year to do it. Now here's the question. You guys can answer me this on the text line, 503-864-6326. Do I start playing cornhole on a regular basis? I don't think I can do that.
No, that's too much.
All right. I'm thinking the same thing.
Traveling with your own bags and extra bags?
I've told you this.
That's a lot.
I have told people that have listened to this show or The Sinner and the Saint the story before. After the first 5 or 6 years that we did this tournament, in the finals every year it was me and my brother Frank. So we thought we would go and actually play in a cornhole tournament. Whew, that is a different setting, my friends. There was multiple people wearing their jerseys, dozens of people wearing their cornhole t-shirts, participation, championship t-shirts, whatever they were wearing. There was a lot of cornhole apparel. But the one guy that got me showed up carrying a cedar box with his cornhole bags in it so that the cedar would pull the moisture out of the bags.
That's ridiculous.
We were the only ones. we were one of a select few that didn't know we should have brought our own bags to the tournament. We had genuinely no idea.
I feel like everyone should be playing with their own bags. I mean, everyone should be playing with the same bags, not their own bags. That's
listen.
That's like setting
shouldn't
the
play
world
with somebody
record.
else's bags.
Fair.
Okay. It's either community bag or your bag.
But that's like
But I had no idea.
It's like setting the world record in deadlift at your own home gym.
But apparently this is part of the. There's a whole culture around it. I didn't pick up on this because I don't think I played any exhibition games against the Idahoans. They're all speaking like the terminology of the game. They had different like. My brother is picking up on. He's like, yeah. So they were saying this, and I guess it means that, and this is that, and they have like
they've got the ESPN, the Ocho.
They're Ochoing us, man. We got Ochoed. Me and Paul did, but again, different partner, different results. I could get there. I threw plenty of bags in plenty of holes. I played all right. Didn't play well enough to win. I will admit that, but you get a tough draw of a partner, and you watch the other side. You're sitting there on the other side, and all of a sudden, just blink, blink, blink. The guy or the gal on the other side just starts crushing you, and your hands are up.
And you're looking at
hey, first time player.
You're like, hey, just keep it up.
Why don't you try bending your knees a little bit more? Can we just maybe get the follow through?
Go. Oh, that one hit the board.
Put your opposite leg forward. Hey, when one goes in the hole and you have a massive celebration, I did it. Well, you got 3 more to throw here.
You're still down 6 points, pal.
Let's get back to it. So it was a fantastic trip, and the trophy will back in Idaho. It's going to come back covered in potatoes or whatever they're going to put on it. We'll see what it looks like next year, but we got to wait a whole another year to get another crack at it. So if anybody thinks I need an argument, you can't say yes, you should start playing. I need to know if you think I need to get into this sport. I'm going to need a lot of why. I'm going to need a lot of convincing. I think I'm with you, Casey. I don't think it's a lifestyle that I'm ready. If I start showing up for shows wearing my cornhole jersey or the medal I got down at the tap room.
You're telling me that you walked into the office and in your backpack are cornhole bags for just in case? That's too much.
Okay. Now I have to admit something here, and we'll see how you think of this. I do have a traveling case for some pretty nice ping pong paddles. Not for cornhole bags. Is that better or worse?
But did they come with the paddles themselves?
No.
You had to buy the case separately?
Well, I had 2. Okay.
Then yes.
Okay, very quickly. Very quickly.
You're already trying to justify
Well, of course I am, but just at least let me try. It's my show. Shut up, I get to justify it. Won an Amazon gift card for some contest. I had $100 on it, and I didn't really have anything that I needed. My brother has both of my brothers have ping pong tables set up. I do not. We had one in the office. We have it again. We just got it back. I was playing at the office. I was playing at both of my brother's house, and then a friend of mine and I would go and play ping pong at a bar this is all pre-COVID, regular basis. I was playing probably 4 or 5 times a week playing ping pong, all at different locations. Do not have a ping pong table. When I went to the bar, you get stuck with the bar paddle. They're kind of awful. And this doubles thing was pretty serious. Like, people are offering, they're going like, you guys are good players, to me and my buddy, going, but you should probably have better paddles. And we're like, I think we're fine with these. We were not. You could totally tell the difference. And then I got in a pretty good competition with former co-host of Sinner and Saint, Will Darkins, that I would play, and my brothers. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get myself a nice paddle. I've got this $100 gift card. So I spent the entire gift card on a ping pong paddle. It was nice. Now we're going on another trip where there's going to be a ping pong paddle game, and I know there's a table there, but if I bring my $100 paddle, you know what's going to happen because my brothers are going to be there?
Someone's going to use it.
What? No. They're going to think it's, well, you only won because you got that stupid paddle. So what I did was I bought another one, and for like $10, they're like, we suggest you buy it with this case, holds plenty of ping pong balls. My dad was watching over an estate up in Port Angeles, and he goes, yeah, I got the ping pong table set up, but I don't have paddles. So I get balls, I get a second paddle, I go there, even playing field, the paddles, it rated exactly the same brand, different, slightly different. So I bought the thing for it, and I was using it quite a bit. So that's how I ended up with it. It wasn't like I need to get my traveling road show going. So then I would bring it. Is that worse? Better? A little bit. It's worse. It's worse than cornhole.
You almost had me with saying that you had the Amazon $100 gift card.
Yeah.
And then you proceeded to say that, but that's not what I purchased with the $100 gift card.
Well, no, I bought the paddle.
The paddle.
Yes.
and then a separate purchase was for the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
when I got the second paddle, it's all right. If it's too much,
That's too much.
Too much. So maybe I'm halfway to being a cornholer already. Who knows?
Sounds like it.
It could. Hey, could be. You know what? Hey, things happen in life. You never know it. The Idahoans, they were telling me, met a lot of great friends already playing cornhole. We've changed their lives for the better. They preached the gospel of cornhole all weekend. They proved it in the arena, or campsite number 20, however you want to call it. But they stepped up, and they proved it. 3 of the 4 in the group made the finals. The other 1 point out of making the final. I mean, the whole thing. So we got to get to some sports, though. Trying to avoid talking about the Mariners as long as I can, but I think we need to tell you what happened over the weekend. I've got a shortstop that can't stop stopping the ball. I've got a QB that the Steelers just can't quit. And Cousins versus Crosby. All of that in the Daily Buzz. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
The new
Well, the Mariners did one thing right. I guess the Fan Fest for the 50th celebration was fantastic. Everybody had any comments about it. Even the crowd even cheered for Alex Rodriguez when he went out there. The players that showed up seemed to really enjoy the moment. All the things around the game of baseball were kind of fantastic, but the weekend of actual baseball was terrible. I don't even know where you want to start. If you want to look at Thursday's 11-0 loss to the Tigers to lose that series, the Rays sweep over the weekend, the Mariners just can't seem to put up any offense, and if they do, they give up 1,000 runs, and they are just flat out bad at baseball. The Rays, are the best team in the American League, and they complete the sweep after the 4-1 victory yesterday, but just not looking good for the Seattle Mariners right now. They have moved to, what are they, 55-63 or something stupid like that. 7 games below 500, I think, is what they're at now. So a lot of work to do, but only 3.5 games out of the wild card, only 4 games out of the division, so technically still in it. Mercifully, they have a day off today before they travel east to take on the Yankees. I believe they have the Houston Astros and the Miami Marlins. No, not the Miami Marlins. Who else? Milwaukee Brewers in their 9-game road trip coming up. So good luck to the Mariners. This month is going to be very difficult. They come home, they play, I don't know which order it is, but Phillies and Cubs when they come home, and it's going to be really tough. They need to play a lot better.
Cubs then Phillies.
There you go. So need to play a lot better. Even when they get home, it's not going to get any easier. But again, all the top top 50 stuff was great. They surprised the legendary broadcaster who refuses to take any credit and speaks more about Dave Niehaus than he does himself. Rick Riz was honored by being one of the top 50 and put into the Mariners Hall of Fame over the weekend. So good job on that. Little work to do on the actual baseball.
The Buzz.
Well, how about this? Jacob Wilson is now the best shortstop defensively with the longest consecutive game streak without an error, 111 games without an error. And the kid's just 24 years old. It's pretty ridiculous. You got to give the guy props for that. His dad, Jack Wilson, was a 12-year shortstop in the majors. Always taught him you need to go out there and play defense. It's the most important thing that you can do. Obviously, one of the key positions in baseball. He's got a long way to go for the longest streak without an error. I believe that is at 440 for an outfielder. But at shortstop, at least, he's the best, and very different positions for that.
The Buzz.
Well, the Atlanta Braves had a weird moment. Chris Sale, how about being tossed before a game that you're not even playing in? So he came out to argue about a balk from the day before and was tossed from the game.
This weekend was a tough weekend if you're an umpire.
Well, you're putting this one on the umpire, or just the amount of
This was one of the worst officiated games, a series of baseball that I think I've witnessed in the new era.
All right, and just the entire series was awful. One thing after another.
The series was awful.
Well, at least it's teams that aren't really relevant. I mean, the Braves trying to win the National League, and then, of course, the Yankees, who have been not playing the greatest baseball of late, but definitely right in the thick of things near the top of the American League.
There was about 4 or 5 things that I could pull for us for tomorrow that we could get into.
All right. Well, if we would like to get into those, we have plenty of time to do it. Sticking with baseball, Tim Anderson retiring from baseball. I mean, what a weird career. I don't know what you're going to look back and what your major thoughts are going to be about Tim Anderson. I think I know what you're looking for on the drop board. If you'd like to play it, go ahead.
Down goes Anderson! Down goes Anderson!
Just put up your dukes at shortstop and get KO'd. He ended up re-hobbling to his feet.
Honrón page.
Maybe one of the best moments, but you may forget that he was a batting champion at one point, and he was a guy that I think everybody looked at as potentially, a guy that was going to be around a long time. He finished his career with a 276 average, 407 as a slugger. He had 98 home runs, 350 RBI, 122 stolen bases in 991 regular season games. But looking back at that Jose Ramirez tape, Wilbur, one of the things that we do, I don't know what it is about White Sox and getting beat up, but you can have a great career, you can have a good career. We're just going to remember you for getting punched in the face, headlock or not. We'll get into a little NFL here, but I do want to remind everybody, or tell everybody, I don't think we mentioned this, but we've kind of switched up our things just a little bit on the show. So Mondays, we're going to have guests. Will Ortner is going to join us in about 7 minutes. So let's move over to some things going on in football. Kirk Cousins is scrapping with Max Crosby at Raiders practice.
Can't touch the quarterback.
I get that, but the quarterback doesn't need to be the one restarting the fight and going back out there and just trying to tear down your defensive linemen. I mean, holy cow, apparently people are demanding to see the tape. It has to be on film somewhere. Have you seen it released anywhere?
I haven't.
People are begging for it, but apparently it is quite the ordeal. Do we even want to touch this stuff with the WNBA? What is going on? Enes Kanter freedom? No, I'm leaving it alone. The Bears, they lose rookie wideout Luther Burton III. He's expected to miss the entire preseason with a groin injury. Doesn't mean he will not be available for the regular season. Detroit Lions offensive lineman Cade Mays has received discouraging medical prognosis. He is expected to miss 8 to 10 weeks. He is going to be sidelined. What was the injury? Where did that go? Yeah, I don't see the actual injury, but he's been sidelined for 8 to 10 weeks. That's all I'm seeing here. They also have Isaiah Pacheco is hurt.
Sorry, it's a groin injury.
Another groin injury. Back-to-back groin injuries. There he goes. Anthony Richardson said he has no idea where the status of his trade request sits, and he's content to be fighting for the backup spot behind Daniel Jones. That's a little nugget there that I remember, what was it, mid-season last year that he was demanding a trade?
Yeah, and then this offseason, they were shopping options for him, and the Colts came out and said, we're not just going to give him away for free.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that makes sense. I can't see that there'd be a ton of value around the league. I don't know what kind of news this is, good news or bad news, but Eric Bieniemy has returned after 2 weeks after the tragic shooting of his wife in his home by his son, but he is back at Chiefs training camp, so hopefully everything is...
Yeah, more details are starting to come out about this.
It's ugly.
Yeah, it's ugly.
It's really bad. Let's see. Dylan Radnez, torn ACL. Cam Jordan is down with a hamstring injury at New Orleans camp. And we'll hit this one before we move on to talking a lot of Seahawks. But it sounds like Mason Rudolph refuses to go away and is having a stellar camp. The Steelers have Aaron Rodgers. They have your boy, Will Howard, who I know you're excited about.
Yes, sir.
They have Drew Aller and Mason Rudolph. They may start the season with 4 quarterbacks on the roster. How do you feel about that, bud?
4 of them won't be on the roster. Aller won't make the 53-man.
Do you think Aller would have any interest if he gets designated, though? Because don't you have to release them and then re-sign them to the practice squad?
Yeah, because Howard, the same issue with him last year. He got designated to the practice squad.
So
wasn't in pads for most of the games until Mason Rudolph was hurt and had to get elevated.
We'll see what happens in the preseason, but at least something to watch. If you've got a QB battle for the backup position behind Aaron Rodgers, it may not be the most intriguing for this season, but Aaron Rodgers is 42. Injuries can happen, so it could be important this season, but certainly for positioning yourself to be the starter next year, kind of a big little story.
Yeah, and if he's finding a way to do it in what is his 3rd or his 4th different offense that he's been in the league with, that's impressive.
I say let's go and talk a little bit of Seahawks with our friend Will Ortner. He'll join us next, but first we need to walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. See what we missed.
First on the Fan, some NFL rule changes for you, as the NFL will allow head coaches to designate a member of their sideline staff to initiate replay challenges. A league official confirmed on Monday. Traditionally, head coaches have been the only member of a team that can declare a challenge by throwing a red flag, but that will change in 2026 if a coach prefers to assign the task to someone else. A decision he would have to inform officials of before the start of the game. The change was not announced during the NFL's annual meeting, where rule changes are typically voted on, but was decided on during the final tweaks made for the rulebook before the season.
You know somebody else is already making the decision. You see all the scrambling on the sideline. It feels like the head coach has enough to worry about. I think this is fairly inconsequential, but what I would like to see is they should have to wear a special hat or a certain type of shirt, and it should look really dumb. So it's like, oh no, here comes the green hat, and then they come out waving their little flag and toss it out. But yeah, I think it would be great if they could figure it out. Why not put like the kid that's in charge of picking up the tee that runs out onto the field, and then he can go and throw the red flag as far as he can. Something like that. Let's make it theatrical if we're going to make this change. That's what I want to see.
You've seen the dogs do bat boy things?
Oh, now you're... didn't they fire...
Bring out the replay.
Didn't they fire a dog earlier this year for taking
Dodgers,
somebody out?
yeah.
That's right. The Dodger dog got fired. That's right.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM. Luke Anderson.
All right, welcome into our second official Industry Insiders segment. We'll have to make a new open that features the young, the dynamic the Poise, the former fan host and the host of the Seahawks Today on Chat Sports through YouTube. Will Ortner, what's happening, my friend?
Not much, man. I'm excited to be here, and I love that you can hear me the first try this time.
What's that? Casey, are you here? No, I gotcha. Yes, it's fantastic.
Don't do that,
I
dude.
appreciate you being our little guinea pig. We want to get this YouTube thing working. We've done a few tries, and I do not have the ability to see you in the studio, but I understand that you're on the screen as well, so we can hear you, we can see you, we got you, and now you can tell us what the hell is going on with the Terrion Arnold situation. I haven't looked into the backstory. I know that the Seahawks were considering looking at him. Sounds like they brought him in for a tryout over the weekend. Have you dug into the actual legal case and what's going on there? I don't know really the whole story, but it sounds like he's available to go out and try out, so he is.
It sounds to me like the Seahawks are just doing their due diligence. Like, this is a guy who was a starter in the league, a quality player, has some issues holding players, has some issues with getting defensive penalties, but he is a quality starting corner in the National Football League. If you have an opportunity and you think that the legal issues are not going to be something that's going to drastically impact this team on the whole, go and make the move and sign him. I still think the Seahawks are doing their due diligence of, let's bring him in, we're going to work him out, we're going to decide, can he fit in with this locker room, talk to guys like Jalen Milroe, who have been good friends with him back when they were both in Alabama, and then make the decision will he be able to actually participate in this year? The NFL is going to, it seems like, let the legal process play out right now. It seems like there's a chance he could be able to play. So do your due diligence, bring him in, work him out, see if he could add to your team. And then once everything's all said and done on the legal side, then decide, do you want to bring him in as a player and sign him or not? Because if you can sign a player of Terrion Arnold's caliber, I think you kind of have to do it.
First round pick. He was an All-American at Alabama. Did I understand it correctly that he was actually might have been roommates with Jalen Milroe at one point? So yeah, I think you're right on that. Do we know anything about the legal case? The way I understand it, there was a robbery at an Airbnb that he had rented, or him and his guys had rented, and then they went after the guys that they thought did the robbery, held them at gunpoint, so that's where the kidnapping comes from. He wasn't in the room, but it sounds like he was the mastermind. Do we know any of the details on that, or should we just shut up and see what happens with the courts?
This is one of those situations, much like when you say something around the special lady friend and she goes, "What do you mean by that?" I go, "Oh, nothing. I don't know, nothing. Not a big deal. That's beyond my comprehension." My understanding is, like, he is allowed to travel for work, right? And he has to go back to where the court proceedings are being held. And that is about as far as I have dove into it, and I want to stay out of it. That
Fair
is
enough.
Smarter people who understand the legal system. My understanding is just, hey, man, can you play football or not play football? Right now, it seems very murky on if he will be able to or not, but he can travel for work, and that's important to know.
Okay, well, and if Julian Neal hasn't really showed up, their third-round pick that they made for a corner, you don't have Nick Emanwori out of there, it makes sense to add to a secondary that lost Reek Woolen, lost Kobe Bryant after the Super Bowl. So all of that makes sense. Let's move to something where it's far less speculation and more sizzle, more tantalizing production values and big booming music and sharp cuts between, your coach delivering a speech and what's happening on the field. Did you watch Hard Knocks last week?
Of course I did. I watched it, and then we are actually releasing an instant reaction video after every Hard Knocks on Seahawks Today. Shameless plug. So go subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 89K subs. You'll get that coverage and so much more on the channel. I'll tell you right now, super biased. I've never been more plugged into a Hard Knocks in the last 10 to 15 years. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Watching what Mike McDonald was able to do, he's clearly become a star, probably much to his dismay. He doesn't like being in front of a crowd, but it was clear that the players want to play for him. He's a good guy. This isn't your typical coach who's just going to yell and scream at you. Nicky Manwari comes to him, hey, I think it's best for me to go home. And then they have a conversation about what it's like dealing with an injury like that mentally. Hey, if you need to be here, of course, we'd love for you to be here. If you can't be here right now, go home today and then try and make it tomorrow. Do what you need to do. He's clearly someone that is very philosophical, is talking about Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, what that means. Derek Hall is clearly going to be a weird character along with Brady Russell. They're going to be the weirdos that say Cartucci board or something stupid that turns into a big meme. And then I'm just fascinated at looking at the inside of some of the different players around the organization. I think Curtis Jones is going to get a little bit more of a deep dive. There's a clip out there about him that they put on the cutting room floor of him just being excited every time there was about to be a fight. He wanted to be the third guy there that just watched, had some popcorn, hanging out. I think that Sam Darnold will get a little bit more attention. I loved what they had to say about Cooper Kupp. And especially with how well he performed last week at camp, it tells me that maybe there's going to be a little bit of a resurgence for him. I just love what Hard Knocks is doing, and this is the first year that I've actually cared. And maybe it's because it's about my team, but I'm going to pretend that it's because this is the best Hard Knocks ever.
Well, I had somebody mention that it's actually probably the worst pick because they're so buttoned up. There's not going to be too much drama, and you just have the Seahawks going about things in such a clean fashion that it's almost not fair to put it on tape because they don't have a lot of flaws in their organization, which I find funny. We're talking with Will Ortner. He's been our Seahawks insider for the last month and a half or so, so I cannot wait for the season. First preseason game is going to be this weekend. It is I think all the games are on Saturday. I don't think we have anything on Sunday. So you'll have Thursday, Friday, Saturday for all the preseason games. Seahawks are going to be on Saturday. Jadarian Price has been in and out. Robbie Oots has been out. Who else has been injured and in and out of the lineup? I can't think of right now. But who do you expect to see a lot of? Who has the most to prove when the preseason starts on Saturday?
Well, I think that is a couple of different answers there. I'm going to go defensively first, and then I'll come back to the offensive side. First, I think defensively, most approved, Riley Mills. I think we get to see a full offseason of work for this kid. Last year, he just wanted to get on the field, right?
Sure.
He was a guy coming off a torn ACL. How can I get onto the field and make an impact this year? So it wasn't about getting better. It was just about being on the field. You now have a full offseason where he is working on his craft. He knows what it takes to be an NFL player, but essentially he has the same amount of wear and tear as most rookies. He's been absolutely lighting this camp up. If Byron Murphy wasn't performing the way that he was, Riley Mills would be the top of that defensive side. I'm excited to see him. I think he'll get 2 or 3 series, maybe 4. I'm really interested to see what he can have. I think when you move to the offensive side, I don't think you're going to see a lot of starters. I'll be interested to see how they handle Jadarian Price, especially with the lower body soreness. Do you want to play him a bunch, or do you let him have a series or 2 and let him kind of get his legs back under him, especially since you're going to Tennessee next week and you're doing a series of joint practices? That might be more beneficial for Price, so give him a little bit less. I'm interested to see the guy that everyone keeps talking about the last week, Montori Foster Jr. And I probably butchered his name, and I apologize. I change it every time I do it. The wide receiver that Seattle signed last year, right before they went on their playoff run. They signed him about 2 weeks before. He was a guy who, much like myself, so maybe that's why I love this story, he was a substitute teacher. He was a guy who was out of the National Football League. He had his buddy that he was going down to that local high school, and they were running routes, and he was throwing the football to him. He ends up getting a call, joins the Seahawks going into that Panthers week against Carolina, week 17.
Yeah.
He ends up staying with the team all the way through the Super Bowl, a part of a Super Bowl championship roster. He ends up getting a futures contract, and he's been really stinking good as a wide receiver and a special teamer throughout OTAs, minicamp, and he was actually a really big piece of FanFest. So you're starting to hear more and more, is the guy going to be a starter on this team? No. Is he going to be no. But could he be that Ricardo Lockett type of, where he's on every single test, and every once in a while you'll see him as like the fourth or fifth wide receiver in, especially with the injury to Jake Bobo. There seems like maybe there's a crack there where he can put himself into this team, make the Seattle Seahawks final 53-man roster. I think it's a fun story to watch. I think it's a fun story to pay attention to, and it's going to be a player that you're going to see probably play a lot on Saturday. So keep your eye out for that.
Well, it is Seahawks Today. It's on Chat Sports. You can check out Will Ortner every day putting up content about the Seahawks, instant reactions to Hard Knocks episodes, and we're going to try to have you on as much as we can throughout the season, which the preseason starts this Saturday, 5 o'clock against the Cowboys. Will Ortner, thank you so much. Always good to catch up with you, my friend.
Dude, thank you for having me on. I'm glad we got the mic working the first time this time, and now we're just going to work on improving it every single day, better and better.
We're just going to dial it in until you just take over the entire show. It'll be no, we don't go that far. But yes, we'll get it dialed in, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thank you for having me. See you, boys.
All right, we will do some In Case You Missed It and send you off with one more for the road. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
Missed it.
Surely you can't be serious.
And your host, Luke Anderson.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
In case you missed it, the New England Patriots are scrambling to rip up and replace their field after installing synthetic turf surface that failed to meet regulations. Man, the Patriots will do anything from us restarting the conversation about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. Filetgate, they want it to go away so bad. I'll bet you Roger Goodell is very excited that the Patriots are back to just cheating at good old-fashioned football, right? No? Is that... In case you missed it, Kyle Shanahan, when he crashed in an automobile accident earlier this summer, he said his Tesla was on autopilot meaning that anytime the 49ers head coach goes on a lecture about the team going on cruise control, it's going to mean a lot more than it would have before. He also admitted earlier that he was actually looking for his phone that he dropped when the accident happened. So when he gets up in somebody's face and goes, "See what happens when you fumble?" It's going to be... no? Is that not? I deserve that. In case you missed it, Detroit Lions backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater has walked away from training camp and is retiring from the NFL for the second time. Whoa! Big news. I'm shocked that Teddy Two Gloves was actually still playing. Did you have him on your backup bingo card? I didn't know that. The Lions have pivoted to Josh Dobbs on a one-year deal to replace Bridgewater, who I'm learning now, apparently Josh Dobbs didn't have a team. I swear, keeping up with backup quarterbacks is like trying to keep track of Tyreek Hill's kids, right? It's like the... No? Do you know how many he has? 10 with 11 different women? According to the internet, it was 10. So I was like, I genuinely thought it was like 7 or 8.
Let me take a stab at it.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the backup quarterback for, I don't know, pick a team. I was going to say Cleveland Browns, but they're all backup quarterbacks, so that's not fair. In case you missed it, the Bills have officially opened their brand new $2.1 billion Highmark Stadium in Saturday's blue and red practice, and fans have exposed massive stadium design flaws that create several obstructed view seating areas throughout the stadium. The good news is when they're watching home games, they'll get a break from watching those terrible gray uniforms for a moment. That's at least the good news. I bet they wish they had a cheaper owner that would have just had the city pay to renovate the stadium instead. I'll bet you that would have went a whole... No? Why is that not? And finally, in case you missed it, new Minnesota Timberwolves guard LaMelo Ball was asked to pick 3 people that he would like to see wear his 6th signature shoe, the Puma Puerto Rico MB06, or whatever it's called. His answer... Jesus, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X. What? Even if basketball was a thing in his day, we all know Jesus is a sandals guy. MLK was strictly PF Flyers. And with all due respect, Malcolm X could not go left. I mean, why would you want those guys to rep your shoes? I do not get that. All right, Casey. What are they saying on the YouTube chats and the text line that we need to address here?
I got someone on the text line that said that they missed you, and that the Mariners and the Rays umpires were just as bad as the Yankees Braves.
I think we're getting to the point in the season where all the umpires are probably getting fatigued, and it's probably difficult to keep track of who's doing anything well and who's not. Like, we're all fed up. Every baseball team is just like they're in the dog days. The Dodgers are slumping. The Mariners are awful. Most teams are pretty bad. Some teams are on these hot streaks. The Tigers just set a franchise record for the most consecutive series wins on the road with 7. So they're a team that sold at the deadline. So we've got all kinds of things going on in baseball. And just to add to it, all of your umpires are fatigued. So I'm not wrong with that. Any advice on this cornhole thing? Did I get any help on that?
Text line that says, I don't think you should get into cornhole, but if you do the People's Court, had courts set up and prices are good, sometimes free. Don't understand what that means.
Okay, the People's Court, I believe, is a place where you can go and play pickleball,
okay.
and they have
place.
I believe the People's Court is a place. I think that's a pickleball place. But pickleball, I will not be getting into. I would rather play cornhole.
But paddle. Or
Padel. Padel. Yeah, hey, we're not mad at that. We've already talked about that. Let's see, there's 29 days, 14 hours, 26 minutes, and 15 seconds to the NFL season. Ooh, I tried to time it. All right, let's send you on the way with... I've got several things here. I'm not 100% what I want to go with. Well, I will tell you the thing about the NFL season being right around the corner, I think is probably the most important thing. I mean, we've got all of these preseason games coming up this weekend. How do you take in the preseason game, Casey? Because you are a fantasy football player. You're making all of these lists. You have been on it. Do you take anything away? Like, I know we asked Ortner about it. I want to see what Jalen Milroe does going up to practice last week, see him in person. He's probably going to get 2-3 quarters every preseason game to see what he can do. He has me intrigued. That's really like one of the few things that you can go on is like, who's going to be your backup quarterback? How do you watch preseason football?
I look at guys that make downhill plays. Defensively, guys make tackles. It's your first real contact of the year, your first full live contact to ground that you've seen all year. Who's the most physical out there? And also, my biggest thing is, can quarterbacks make mistakes and can defensive backs capitalize on those mistakes?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that seems like a fair way to do it. I mean, we've got a full slate of games starting this Thursday. Did you watch much of the Hall of Fame game?
Oh, yeah. I was in the studio for the Timbers game. I was.
So you had nothing better to do?
Full sicko mode was going.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to watch as many preseason games as you can this weekend?
I'm going to try to watch as many as I can.
Oh, all right. Well, what teams have you most interested? I thought you were just going to watch Steelers and look for guys to pop.
Young teams for me. That's a big. So Titans, they have a really young roster. Miami, they are the youngest team in the NFL by a wide margin. So those are probably my two teams.
Do you expect them to play like Malik Willis and have?
I don't expect them to play Malik Willis, but it's their depth guys that they have.
Yeah.
Their average age is around 24 and a half. So again, it's a really young roster. What does the defensive line look if they're that young? What does the offensive line look like?
The nice thing is, as the week goes on, we'll learn more about who's actually going to be on the field for these games. You'll figure out who's going to play. Obviously, not a lot of starters out there in the Hall of Fame game. That one's early. But this is a week. It's almost here. NFL preseason week is officially underway. Big thanks to Joe Fisher for filling in on Thursday, Casey and Stephen Vaughn filling in on Friday, Will Ortner for joining us today. Thank you to everybody that listened. And, of course, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done. For now, bye-bye.
Just purse your lips and whistle. That's the thing. Hey.